Ayy, give me the chip, I need the championship. Wait, we got a drink next to the team, yeah, we can handle it. Wait, soon as I go and I step in arenas, they call me the champ. They know what it is, know what I do, know who I am, who don't understand. Yeah, that's overdue. My trophy say that's overdue. My ring, finna be immortalized. Yeah, they know it's true. They couldn't walk a mile of here.
Hey, how you doing, folks? Chris Harris here. Another episode of Bus We Sports Podcast, our Week 4 preview show. Joining me today, we got Anthony Berry down there in South Carolina. Appreciate everyone listening in. Appreciate everyone joining us. First of all, man, we got to give a shout out to our sponsor. And our sponsor for today's video is Austin Brinkley, North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance Agents. Life can be unexpected and unpredictable, but your peace of mind shouldn't be. With the right coverage, you can safeguard your family, your home, and your future. Home insurance, auto, life, one call is all it takes to make sure you're covered from every single angle. Let Austin help you build a policy that fits your needs and your budget. So contact him, Austin Brinkley, at 910-290-4250. And he's located in Duplin County, 409 North Main Street, Kingsville, North Carolina. So stop by, see him, or give him a call. And we want to once again appreciate him for sponsoring this podcast. Like I said, Anthony, man, we're week 4, approaching that halfway point of the football season. Season's flying by. I had a lot of great games this last weekend. Another great slate of games this week. Definitely looking forward to it. And let me go ahead and pull up our. Oh, did I pull up the list? Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna pull up the list of our games this week. But Anthony, man, how you doing?
Doing good, sir.
Good. I know you say you was feeling a little bit under the weather earlier, so I'm happy you were able to join us.
Yes,
I got
sir.
to give a shout out to Coach Goodman. Wanted everyone to continue to keep his family in your prayers as they're dealing with their family issues. So his grandmother was in the hospital. But I got the list of games for this week that we're going to be talking about. Hold on, I don't want to cut our sponsor out of the. Okay, we got it up there. For those with bad eyesight here, and once again, appreciate everyone for listening in, man. I see we got some folks in the chat already. Like I said, as always, feel free to comment. Shout out your school, shout out your players. Any questions, any comments, please feel free. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, so I'll try to bounce back and forth to make sure we're not missing any comments or questions. But got a list of games up here for week 4. For Anthony, any of these stand out to you? I know probably where you're going to be headed at. But any of these games stand out to you?
No, I ain't gonna say Conway because we should beat them. Uh, I think that Loris and Norfolk the Beach game on keep my
Oh yeah,
eye on.
that should be a good one.
I think Clinton and East Bladen.
Oh yeah, that's always a good one, and we'll get to that one in a little bit. But let me send a shout out to the chat. We see got Coach Brandon Maynard in the chat. Shout out Coach Goodman in the chat. Like I said, brother, we praying for you. See Sean Pone, 71st Falcons in the chat there. Let's see Angelo Finney. Shout out to Pender High School. Yeah, Pender's off to a good start. A big game for them this week.
Mm-hmm.
Taking on those Wallace Rose Hill Bulldogs. Shout out to Jason Marks in the chat. Whoa, look at that. We got a big time. Look at that score prediction. Angelo Phil said Pender 28-7 over Wallace for his prediction. Now that would be huge. Shout out
Yep.
to Travis Johnson, Tarboro, Southwest Edgecombe. Always a big crowd expected for that one. That's that was it the function at the junction? That game, Tarboro, Southwest Edgecombe, big time rivalry game out there in Edgecombe County. Shout Laura Shields Page said, "Let's go Pender." Okay, we got a lot of Pender County folks in the chat this evening. Okay, shout out to Pender Patriots. Left it over there on Instagram. Yeah, like I said, a great slate of games this week. I'll go ahead and read them off. Oh man, somebody trolling you, hey, Anthony. Somebody trolling you, man. Dylan Roscoe said Conway over Marlboro, 28-14.
Okay.
he
I know
said,
who that is. Okay.
but real quick, just run through our games here. We got Clinton versus East Bladen, Lakewood versus Fairmont, Union Camp Lejeune, Hopton Rosewood, Midway versus South Johnston, our East Duplin versus James Kenan, which is going to be our Buck Sweet Sports game of the week, and we'll get to that one. Wallace Rose Hill versus Pender, North Duplin versus Jones Senior, West Bladen versus Trask, 71st taking on Hope County, St. Paul's versus North Brunswick, Red Springs versus Purnell Sweat, Tarboro versus Southwest Edgecombe, Kinston versus White Oak, Hoggard versus Panther Creek, Terry Sanford versus Jack Britt. Down there in South Carolina, we got Marlboro County versus Conway, Lords versus North Myrtle Beach, and rounding out with Whiteville taking on East Columbus. And for the first time, we're checking in on one of our private schools, man. Harold's Christian Academy taking on High Point Christian Academy. Both teams coming into that one 3-0, so that should be a good one.
Mm.
Yeah, see Don getting a good laugh in on over there on the chat there. Shout out to Anthony Morsey, James Kenan Tigers, Antonio Barrett Millen, St. Paul's Bulldogs, one game at a time. Yes, sir. And Jason Mark says Wallace Rose Hill over Pender 32-7. Y'all ain't played nobody yet. Okay. So the trash talk has already started in the chat. And it's all good, man. I don't mind a little trash talk in the chat to get everything started. Just as long as we keep it clean, man. Don't no nothing personal. Don't go personal on nobody here.
Yeah.
Travis Johnson, East Duplin, James King's gonna be a good one. Two teams that should both go far in the 3A and 4A East playoffs, leaning towards JK in a close one. Yes, sir. I have to agree with you, and we're going to get to that one in a little bit. But
I saw them highlights you posted of that receiver y'all got.
for Clinton,
Is it what's his name? Jonah?
yeah, Jonah Boone. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a special one, man. He's a special one. Uh,
He's only a freshman, isn't he?
Jonah's a junior. We do have another freshman wide receiver, Zaire Strickland. He's gonna be pretty good
Okay.
too. We'll get to them in a little bit. First off, our first game we're gonna talk about. We got Union Spartans taking on the Camp Lejeune Devil Pups Friday night. As you can see from the flyer there, it's going to be camo night out there at Union High School. So everyone go into the game, put on your best camo outfits, and go out there and support the team. It should be a really good time, a fun time out there at Union High School this Friday night. Um, for this one, like I said, Union's coming off a tough loss to Beargrass, which looking at some of the current polls, man, Beargrass is rated pretty high. We didn't really know too much about them going into the game, but I'm checking on multiple polls. They're ranked pretty high in their classification, so that's going to be a good one. They are a good one. So Union got a really good test Friday night. And of course, if y'all watched the show this weekend, Coach Maynard came up here and kind of gave us his rundown of the game and basically, like I said, it's US team in the past would have kind of just folded, laid down, but they continue to fight and fight there to the end and gave them a good game. But coming into this week, man, we saw Lejeune a couple times. We saw him against Lakewood. We saw him in the Jamboree. A team that kind of definitely looks like they're pretty down. So I'm feeling good about Union's chances this Friday night. But like I said, man, y'all go out there and Spartan Nation go out there and really support those kids and that outstanding coaching staff that got out there in Union. Like I said, you could definitely see the difference, from a couple years ago to now. And this is one of those games I talked about with Union before, where we talk about those 50-50 games where it could go either way. And last year, these are the type of games where they fell, just short. I don't see it happening this Friday night, man. I'm liking Union in this one, so hoping everyone goes out there, like I said, Rocky Camo and support those kids. And let me see. Brandon said it's not camo. Hey, look, hey, look, man. Someone, whoever runs the union of page on Instagram, has sent me. They sent me. They wanted me to make this for their camo night. They said it was versus Lejeune, so I don't know. I guess a little disconnect there. So I apologize. So it's all white night. Mm, mm. Well, yeah, he said the person who did that didn't know we had a committee that decides that. Well, disregard the camo. Oh man, yeah, somebody slacking, man. Somebody gave me some bad information. So disregard the camo. Rock that all white, that red and white Friday night. And I don't want to miss any comments real quick. Let me go back. Brandon said JK versus East Duke definitely game of the week. Timmy Williams Hopkins said Hopkins will take down Rosewood this year. Okay, we'll get to that one in a little bit. Jaden Miller said I got James Kenan over East Duplin. Of course, we still got some Penner and Wallace folks going at it in the chat. So hold on, I think Coach Manning want to hop up here real quick. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
So he wants to clarify some things that like I said, man, they sent me a message on Instagram, and I went ahead and ran with the camo. I got you. Hey, Coach, I'm about to send it right now. Give Coach a second to see if he can hop up here. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just laughing at a little bit of Angelo and Jason going at it going back and forth there in the chat. But yeah, he said, "Yeah, I don't mind a little trash talk, man. Everybody, as long as everybody just keep it
Yeah.
clean." We got Coach Maynard up here.
What's
Coach,
going on?
what's going on? Hey, look, my bad on the confusion there. Like I said, man, I got a request for camo night, and so everybody, if your union scratch the camo, coach got
So
you.
we also at halftime we'll be celebrating the 94-95 team of Union, the team that went 11-2. It's one of the best teams to come out of Union. That's the reason why we're wearing all white and the color for them. Like Anthony said, that would be a good troll to wear camo against Kent Zoom, but you know. I didn't even know we had a committee that did that stuff. So our assistant AD just let me know today, like from now on, let me tell y'all, then y'all make the post. So
Okay, I
I
got
just
you.
wanted to
I
clarify
got you.
that and the reason why, because there was a lot of parents calling the AD today and the assistant AD and blowing up their phone. So, um, of course, I'm rooting for all the Sampson County schools this week. I, um,
Oh yeah, always.
James Kenan looked strong this year, and like my man said in the comments, Wallace has played up all at the beginning of the season, so don't look for them to be down too much longer once they get into their conference and everything and get that train rolling. So I wouldn't sleep on Wallace just yet. So it's always good to be up here to see y'all guys, man. I just got supper cooked.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
oh
want to
yeah.
get up here and clarify that real quick. Good luck to all the
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, look, we appreciate it, man. We don't want to throw out the wrong information on you.
absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Good luck to all the Sampson County schools. We try to hold it down for each other until we play each other.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Appreciate y'all.
sir.
Good night.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it. Appreciate Coach man to come up here and clarify that information. We don't want to get anything
Ooh,
wrong there.
Lord, what y'all do
But
out?
We'll go ahead and move on to our next game. But once again, Union versus Camp Lejeune Friday night. We're white, not camo, white. And I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go up here and redo that post so there's no more confusion. But going on to our next game of the night, we got Clinton taking on East Blade, and Clinton's taking the trip to Elizabethtown. Always a tough place to play a football game. Long time rivalry, underrated rivalry in my opinion, man. Unfortunately, we didn't get to play this game for the last 2 years, so I'm happy that they got it back on the schedule. Always a fun one, man. When the Dark Horses and the Eagles hook up. Well, I'll start with East Bladen first, man. East Bladen's coming off a tough loss to a really good was like a good Whiteville team. Lost that one 38-14. The times I did get to check out East Bladen, really strong running game. Like I said, they're not going to be it's not going to be anything complicated, anything pretty, man. They're going to line up. They're going to run the ball right at you. They have some outstanding running backs. Really big. Deshaun Campbell. They got a couple of different change of pace backs. So they're like I said, it's nothing complicated. They're going to come at you with. They're running it. They're running it right at you. And unfortunately for Clinton, man, one of our issues so far this season has been run defense in particular, as we have experienced over the last 2 weeks. Like I said, man, this is always a tough place to play down there in Elizabethtown. For Clinton, like I said, man, we gotta find some way to uh, stop that run. Not sure what the status of number 15 Jaden Williams will be this week. I know he tweaked his shoulder last week, so unfortunately we may not have him, or it may be limited. But the rest of that front seven's got to find a way, man. And also our coaches from a coaching standpoint, you got to be willing to adjust on the fly, man. You got to make in-game adjustments. I know that's one thing that a lot of us fans were frustrated with last week when we felt like we really controlled that game against Wallace for the most part, and when Wallace went to something different, we just refused to change things up. And I understand. You got a game plan. You want to stick to your guns, but you can't be that stubborn, especially when the entire sidelines telling you, "Hey, look, we got to do something different." So as a coach, man, you kind of got to swallow your pride, and that's just a part of the game. Coaching wise, you got to be able to. The inability to make in-game adjustments will get you beat in games like that. I don't feel, and no disrespect to any Wallace Rose Hill fans out here, I don't feel Wallace was better than Clinton. But y'all had better coaching Friday night, so that's ultimately what I believe won y'all the game. So Coach Monsinger, he's been doing this for a long time, and he it's a reason why he's got a state championship ring. Just big.
How did the offensive line do?
Uh, like I said, we still got some issues as far as the run blocking. Like I said, they did enough. Like I said, we did enough to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you're up 18-6 with 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yep.
You got to close that one out, man. You let the Wildcat formation beat you. That just shouldn't have went down like that. But like I said, we just got to be willing to be able to make those adjustments on the fly. Um, like you said, you spoke on Jonah Boone earlier. We got some outstanding wide receivers, man. The offense is gonna score some points, man. Jonah Boone's been, like I said, he's been a big play waiting to happen every time he touches the ball. Freshman Zaire Strickland, who I believe you got to start to feature him a lot more. He's already shown he's got big playability. I understand he's a freshman. I understand he's got to earn that trust from the coaching staff. But I believe if he hasn't earned it yet, I mean, what else does he have to do, man? He's definitely proved that he's a guy that you should build an offensive package around him. Like I said, him and Jonah have really been good weapons for new quarterback Miles McCaleb. So I want to see, like I said, you got to as an offensive coordinator, as a offensive play caller, you want to find as many ways as possible to get those two the ball in their hands, get them in space, and just
Mhm.
let them be athletes and make plays. Like I said, Jonah's lightning in the bottle, man. Jonah, he could take a 5 yard, pass and turn it into a 50-yard touchdown. We saw it already. So, um, and same thing with Zaire. I raved about Zaire, throughout the summer and going into the season. Um, like I said, you gotta get that kid the ball, man. Let him be an athlete. And also, it's getting to this point now where I wouldn't I would even look at playing them on defense a little bit. I mean,
Mhm.
when you got a dog like that, man, you gotta let them. You gotta put them on the field. Let them be. Like I said, let them be an athlete. Let them make plays for you.
You think they
That's
remind you of that guy that went to Maryland for y'all?
Josiah. Josiah. Definitely got some though the similar attributes.
Mhm.
Like I said,
I
too
keep
too
it
too
thinking.
early to tell, man. I mean, Joe Mack was, um, from my time watching him, one of the best with the
Yeah.
ball in his hands, man. Like I said, you try to tackle that kid, he could dodge a tackle in the phone booth, and that's
Yep.
saying something, man. He was one of the best, but definitely you got some offensive talent out there, Clinton, and you gotta let it loose, man. We can't be conservative with it. You gotta let it loose, and also we can't forget to mix in the run game, man. We got some solid running backs. Sometimes we do fall in love a little bit too much with the pass. We kind of got to try to stay balanced, man. Try to keep defense on their toes, and that's stuff like that's what's going to win this game. But it's all for naught if we can't stop anything on defense, man. Defense really got to tighten up. I gave that front seven their flowers after that Lakewood game. I thought they played an outstanding game, shutting down what I believe is still a strong running attack between quarterback Reed Ammons and Calvin Lacewell out there at Lakewood. But since then, man, it just we only seen it in spurts, so it can't be just one or two plays where we perform well. We got to put it together, for an entire game. So ultimately, that's going to be the key to that one. Offense got to score the points, defense got to make the stops, man. And if you're an East Bladen fan, I know Coach Robbie Priest, man. He's one of the best in the area. If he sees Clinton's not going to stop the run, expect him to use the same type of game plan that Coach Moss used last week. He gonna run the ball right at you until you stop it, and he's got plenty of running backs to do it. So um, we'll see about that one. But real quick, go to the chat. Sean Poe said, "Got to feed the freshmen." Yes, sir. I agree. Dale Jackson says it's hard to see Clinton lose. We're not used to it. You're exactly right. It's definitely tough, especially like I said, losing a game like that to one of your biggest rivals, a game that you were pretty much in control of. That one hurt, man. That one hurt a lot. Like I said, we're up 18-6 in the third quarter. You feel like you just got to get one more little knockout punch to put it away, and we just couldn't get it done. Let's see. Yeah. Any more
It's
comments? Oh, my bad, man. Go ahead.
good. It's one thing, like, you lose a game, you lose a game, but it's another being up and then lose.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story right there.
Oh yeah. And like I said, I felt like nothing. Like I said, nothing against Wallace, man. I feel like we were actually the better team this year, but they just had better coaching. Uh, if no more comments on that one, man, we'll move to our next game. We got shout out to Coach Goodman, man, if you're listening in. Uh, we got his Hopton Wildcats taking on Rosewood. Uh, both teams coming into this game 0-3. Um, for Hopton, man, like I said, they've been breaking in new head coach, new offensive system. Um, we've seen them we seen them put together spurts of good, and they dealt with some early season injuries. They get Jay Mack back this week. You see him there on the flyer there.
Hmm.
So it's gonna be good having him back. Coach Gilbert said this is the year. Yeah, yeah. I feel like Hopkins being home this Friday night. I feel like they're gonna break. I think they're gonna break through this weekend. Coach Adam Scrumps will get his first victory as a head coach out there in Hopton and Newton Grove. So, um, like I said, these two are very familiar with each other. Old foes in the Carolina 1A conference for the past couple of years. So a lot of familiarity between both these teams. Like I said, both of them coming in 0-3, feeding for a victory. And I'm feeling like Hopton's hungry, man. They're going to get it done this Friday night. So shout out to Coach Goodman and Wildcat Nation out there. Real
Did they got
quick.
Michigan type jerseys?
What's up?
The color scheme
What
for
about it?
Hop? Is it like Michigan's?
Oh yeah. That's they always been one
Okay.
of my favorite uniform combination. Man, I always love that Michigan style helmet. Let's see, Coach Goodman said they cooking birds Friday night. I hear you, Coach. But any more comments on Hopton versus Rosewood? If not, we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. Next game, we'll head into the private school sector. The private school, we got Harold's Christian Academy taking on High Point Christian Academy. Both teams coming into this game 3-0. Um, I haven't featured Harold's yet this season, but I saw they were 3-0, so I said, yeah, 3-0, taking on 3-0, man. Definitely gotta check this one out this week. And they're taking on a team that they lost to in the postseason last year. High Point, I think, beat them 45-7 last season, so they're going to be looking for a little bit of, excuse me, looking for a little bit of payback. Ooh, excuse me, but yeah, definitely going to be checking in on that one. And also, I believe High Point Christian, man, I believe we had some guys. We had a recruiting special, recruiting assistance special last year with a couple coaches that I believe they. I don't know if they're still affiliated with High Point or not, but you had a couple guys from up there. Those really good guys, really very informative out there at High Point. But let me see, Jalen Mills. He got his High Harold's Christian Academy boys bringing that home in that one. We'll see, man. That's going to be a tough one, man. Like I said, High Point, they were extremely good last season. They returned an outstanding running back. He had over 1,700 yards last season. So he's going to be a tough one, but yeah, you got the home field, so that's got to account for something. But that's definitely going to be a tough one. Definitely going to be a good one. We're going to be checking in on that one.
Yeah, I like the jerseys.
Oh yeah. Their color scheme is nice.
Oregon Ducks.
Real quick, shout out some of the guys out there. Harold's Christian. That real quick. Of course, you got Demetrius Jones, who's pictured there in the graphic. He's leading the team, coming in with 173 yards and 4 touchdowns. Like I said, it's gonna be a tough one, man. I'll pull up the young man for High Point because he's already off to a hot start. I believe he's only a junior, but his name is his last name is Moore. Jalen Moore for High Point Christian. Uh, they only got his stats through 2 games. I know they played 3, so it's probably going to be a little bit off. But through 2 games, he had 414 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. So he's well on his way to having another big season out there for them. So yeah, definitely going when it comes to Harrows, he's got to be a big time emphasis as far as their defensive game plan goes. Stopping him probably will go a long way to winning this game, but definitely going to be checking in on that one. Just making sure we ain't got any more comments as far as as that goes. All right, keep it moving. Our next game, and of course, Brandon. I know Brandon's gonna have a lot to say about this one. Well, not Brandon. Anthony's gonna have a lot to say about this one.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got Marlboro County taking on Conway. Well, first off, Anthony, man, kind of give us because you couldn't join us Saturday, but kind of give us a rundown of Marlboro's last game, that a game against Gray Collegiate.
Well, I mean, we was banged up the week prior against Raw after coming out of that game, so we had a lot of key pieces missing. Number 9, Troy Haley didn't play much. He tried to give it a go, but his leg. But we was starting. We was on our fourth string running back, and we just had a lot of injury. It was good, a good game going into the fourth, but injuries kind of piled up on us. And people like, oh, you can't make an excuse, next man up. But it is an excuse when you got unexperienced people out there playing positions that they not usually play. Because we had like cornerbacks getting hurt. We had one of our big defensive line in Caden. He got hurt and he went out the game, and it was just downhill after that. So, but I mean, we kept it close as much as we could. But I'm looking forward to this game against Conway. Conway is 0-3. They lost to Sherrall last week, 13-3, I think it was. But they hadn't won a game all year. But I'll make sure I don't say nothing. Give them bulletin board material.
And you don't want to jinx yourself either, man.
No, but I think we should be healthy. I mean, but James McLean, number 8, he hadn't played in 2 weeks. He's in his shoulders in a sling. So I mean, I think this is probably we've not been that healthy since Corey took over. Last year we didn't have no major injuries. I think but you got to take what it gives you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But at least we got 2 more weeks before region play, so we should be good by then.
And that's the thing. Understand the football mantra. Everyone's dealing with injuries, next man up, this, that, and the third. But when you're dealing with, I mean, we're not talking about just one or two. We're talking about multiple guys being out.
Yeah,
That's always tough to deal with. I don't care, how much you prepare your second and third string guys, man. That's always tough when you got multiple starters out, especially going against a team
like
like a great collegiate with, so much depth, so much talent. So understand, like I said, man, I was checking in on the score updates, man. I saw it was a 14-14 game going into halftime, and I mean, not halftime, but going into the fourth quarter there, and final score kind of jumped out at me, and I guess, like I said, just it just ran out of gas, and it happens. Like I said, that's a good team, and I guess you guys get to see kind of a little measuring stick a little bit as far as exactly how well you guys match up with some other big boys, because they're taking on Dutch Fork this week. So that's the top of the top out there in South Carolina. Coach Tom Knotts and Dutch Fork. So if Great gives them a game and y'all kind of stuck with Great, I don't understand. Common opponents, this, that, and third. That's a bad way to compare teams. But hey, I mean, if they stick with Dutch Fork, man, that looks good on y'all a little bit.
Yeah, well, last year Gray went down to Florida and played IMG Academy.
Oh, well, oh, okay. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you
they're
talking
one of
about
those.
68-0,
yeah,
but that's IMG Academy though. That's
that's
down there.
the top of the top. But
Yeah,
like I said, if with y'all dealing with so many injuries, I guess this game probably came at a good time. A game like this, hopefully y'all can put it away early, and get some of the younger guys some playing time, and get some of you guys, your starters, rested, and hopefully, man, you get, like you said, man, you go into a region play healthy and ready to go. No more comments on Conway versus Marlboro County. We'll keep it moving. But before we do, once again, just want to give a shout out to our sponsor. Uh, Sponsors Austin Brinkley, North Carolina Farm Bureau insurance agent. Like I said, man, give Austin a call. Contact him at 910-290-4250. Appreciate him sponsoring this podcast. He's a big time James Kenan fan. So all you folks in Warsaw, man, if you're needing insurance and don't know who to call, give Austin a call, man. Like I said, support the people that support you, and we definitely appreciate him for supporting this podcast. So if you're a fan of the podcast, definitely give him a call. See what at least see what he's talking about. Like I said, he does it. He does he does he runs through different types of plans just to he'll a free consultation, just trying to find what works best for you, your family, your situation. So and if you like what you hear, you go ahead and sign up with him. But yeah, definitely give him a call. And once again, thank him for supporting the podcast. Move on to our next game. We got High Trash taking on West Bladen. Both teams coming in 1-2, kind of different emotions coming into the game. Of course, High Trash is coming off a uh, pretty bad loss to South Brunswick. Of course, West Bladen got their first win of the season, defeating West Columbus. Like I said, man, Trash lost to South Brunswick. South Brunswick was on a 19-game losing streak, and you hate to be the team that you know it gets to be the one that ends that streak. But unfortunately, that what happened with Trash last week. They lost to South Brunswick 23-22. So they're going to be looking to try to rebound, get back in the win column. Of course, West Bladen, we talked about West Bladen before, man. School that's been kind of down as far as football goes, but you can definitely kind of see the energy changing out there in Bladenboro with this coaching staff. And you said the kids are there. They're working hard. They're playing hard. They're showing up. Like I said, for a school that's been pretty much down. One thing I noticed with their numbers during the jamboree, they had really really good numbers. So when you got good participation like that, especially being in a down program, that speaks well, especially for the coaching staffs. And you can tell that they're playing. Like I said, they lost a couple games here at the beginning of the season, but you saw fight in them. So which and of course that all resonated last week when they got their first win. So shout out to them. For as far as this game goes, like I said, it's two teams coming in with different mindsets, different energies. If West Bladen keeps that same energy that they've been showing, and I can see them going to getting back up to 500, going improving to 2-2. For Trash, you're young, you're dealing with a new coaching staff. They dealt with some injuries here early on in the season. Just depends on how they come out. Like I said, they've been speaking with one of their guys, Jordan Ward, throughout the summer. And he's been kind of filling me in as far as like I said, just the ups and downs. Like I said, you're dealing with a young program, bunch of young kids. They're going to get it together, man. Hopefully they're going to get together. Come conference play, you're going to be looking at a totally different team, but they do definitely have some nice pieces out there that can hurt. So it just depends on who comes out, man, and does the small things. That's what's going to come away with this victory. This is kind of a 50-50 one, in my opinion. I don't know if this was one of our quick picks. I got to check. I'm pretty sure. I think it was, but I'll give my pick. I'll give my pick then. But any comments on West Bladen versus Trask?
Hey,
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
have I'm gonna have to head out. I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
go
yeah.
right fast before they close up for my mom. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, you good, man.
all right,
All right,
I should be able to be on there Saturday morning. So,
all right, man. Well, I'll see you Saturday, man. Appreciate you.
all right, appreciate y'all.
Yeah. All right, so we'll keep it moving. And we go head back into Sampson County. And we're gonna talk about this Lakewood versus Fairmont game. Lakewood coming off a tough loss to rival Midway. Once again, man, they get. I feel like this is a get right week for Lakewood going against lesser opponent, man. Fairmont coming into this game winless. Like I said, another program that's been really kind of down lately. Like I said, for the lepers, like I said, a perfect get right week to get that confidence back up, tweak some things, fix some issues that ailed them, last week, and get ready for start to trying to get your stuff, ready for conference play coming up. But hold up, got Coach Goodman hopping on. Coach, what's going on?
What you say? What you say?
Yeah, man, yes sir. How you doing?
Hey man, we take it one day at a time. I want to say thank you for all the prayers, man. My grandmother's constantly getting better, step by step. Um,
Okay,
if all things prevail, Lord willing, she'll be home tomorrow.
that's
So
awesome.
I want to say thank you to any and all prayers that was given, man. Prayer definitely works.
Yes, yes sir, yes sir. Hey, well, that's great. That's great news, man. Great news. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, I had to step out for a minute and come holler at you, man.
Oh yeah, it's all good, brother. All right, real quick before while we got you up here, man. If you got anything to say about that Hopton that Rosewood Hopton game, I know that's your boys out there.
I mean, I got a lot to say about that game. I mean, them daggone Eagles, man. Oh man. Oh, I remember there was a year. I want to say it was about 3 years ago. We played them in the regular season because they were in our conference. This is the first year that it's a non-conference game since the realignment and whatnot. We had played them in the regular season, and we almost had them in the playoffs. We had to meet them in the playoffs. I want to say around the third round or so. And I just remember
Mm-hmm.
that heartbreak, bro, of that game. And then the next year, come close to beating them again. They come back in the last fourth quarter. It seemed like we always been close to touching them, and we couldn't just get over that hump. I want to see this year be the year,
Mm-hmm.
man. And I know that whole Hopton community feels the same way. Because whether it's known or not, that is kind of a rivalry, bro. There's been some animus. There's been some after.
Some animosity.
Yes, there's been some like something that you're not going to see on the stat sheet is those after game interactions. The parents get into it, start chirping a little bit, even in the basketball games. Like it's even beyond football. It's been brewing for these past few years. Even with the JV basketball team, we had smoke over there at Rosewood when we beat them back to back. But I digress. It's been a well kept secret that's a rivalry between Hopton and Rosewood. I'm glad that they're on the schedule, even though they're not in our conference. And I really, really hope
Mm.
that the Wildcats get their first dub. And how bittersweet would it be to get the first one against the Rosewood Eagles?
Oh yes sir, yes sir. Well, like I said, man, we've seen some bright spots
Yeah.
from the team so
Bro, have
far
you
this
seen
season, and
Reggie? Have you seen
I'm
some of his clips?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've seen some bright spots, so I'm just hoping you guys can kind of put it all together this week and finally like I said, get over that hump and get Coach Scronce's his first win out there as Hopkins head
And
coach.
the injury bug has bit him too, you know. Uh, Having Jay back, one of your senior leaders, get hurt in what was it, the first snap of the season. That doesn't help, especially when he's one of those dogs that is on both sides of the ball. But he's saying that he's returning and he's ready to cook some birds. And those were his words. When I said that earlier, we cooking birds. That was J Mac. J Mac said we going
Okay.
bird hunting and we gonna cook some birds on Friday. So I believe in J Mac. I believe in that whole squad. I want to also give a shout out to Amir Tate. Amir Tate has shown. I mean, when you see the kid in the street, you be like, "Oh, he's 5 foot nothing." This joker been getting pick six, taking joints to the crib out of the backfield. Like Amir has really, really shocked me and surprised. I always known him as a hooper and an occasional football player, but he is definitely been coming out this year, showing his skills in football. So I also want to give a shout out to Amir too.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Like I said, man, definitely gonna be one of the ones I have my eyes on this Friday night, and yeah, like I said, hoping for a Wildcat victory. But, but yeah, Coach, man, if you have to slide back out, man, just go ahead and let me know, man. I'm gonna keep on rolling, man. I was saying, but talking about this Lakewood Fairmont game, which I feel like is gonna be it's a perfect get right game for
Yes.
Lakewood. Like I said, they just coming off a loss. Fairmont's pretty down, so good week to work on some things that you want to work on going into conference play, and hopefully get it done early. Get some of your younger guys some playing time, and just work on those things, man. I'm not saying no disrespect to Fairmont, but I'm saying you got to treat this like a almost like a live get almost like a live scrimmage game or something like that, man. You know you're more talented, so you're gonna get come in and get it done. But like I said, just work on some things, tweak some things, and definitely come away, try to get out of there, injury free, and get yourself together because you got some tough ones coming up
Yeah.
here in the conference play soon. So
And then remember we talked the other week about trap games. You don't want this to be a
yeah,
trap game where you're going into it too light. You know what I mean? Especially when you need to get off some frustrations off of that last week game. Um, I would treat them as a threat. I would treat them like they are, imposing. This is at Fairmont.
let me see this here. Yep.
Yeah, I would definitely try to go in there and be road warriors, man, and take over their trap.
Like I said, man, Fairmont's been they've been pretty down, man. I really don't foresee them giving them much of issue, but like you said, I just if you're Lakewood, man, you want to get some things together because you see what's on their
Yes,
schedule
sir.
next week,
Yes, sir.
So they got a big one coming next week. Like I said, you don't want to overlook anyone, but like I said, this is definitely just like the Lejeune game they had, 2 weeks ago. It's just a good time to kind of get yourself together and just work on those things. Get that timing down, get that more chemistry
Hmm.
down. Because, like I said, it's a big one, a big one. You got a big one coming to you next week.
And this is a perfect time for Reed to get his swagger back. It looked like there was some moments last week where Reed was a little anxious. And that's just my observation. But I want
Mm-hmm.
to see him with that same type of confidence that he was showing against Clinton. I felt like he had a good, solid performance against Clinton, even though they came up short. Um, and then, of course, he had a solid performance against Lejeune. I want to see Reed get that swagger back and get his confidence back, because whether he believe it or not, UQB, you a captain, you a leader of that
Oh
squad.
yeah,
Even though he young, you a leader, man, and the boys gonna follow how you move. So I would love to see him come out there and get that swag about him and lead his boys to victory.
yes sir, yes sir. I was hoping, we was hoping Coach Brandon Blackwell over there from the Off the Claw podcast dealing with Lakewood will be able to join us, but I know he said he would try, but I wanted to hold off to talking about this one until if he was able to get on or not, but to get his thoughts on it. But definitely have to agree with you as far as like I said, you want Reed to be playing at his highest level going into conference play, especially going into that game against North Duplin next week. You're going to
Yeah,
need him.
because that 99, bro, he coming.
Oh yeah,
Bro,
oh
I've been looking
yes,
at some of his
yes
clips
sir.
and he's slanging dudes like rag dolls, boy. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, that's a grown man, dog.
Oh yes, yes. Hey, shout out to was it God is great there on the Instagram. We're coming up to our James Kenan versus East Duplin thoughts. So man, just just stay tuned. We know that's our game of the week, so we normally handle that. That's our last game we talk about. So just stay tuned. We'll get there. My next game, staying in Sampson County. This is gonna be a big one. Midway Raiders, man, they're coming in hot.
Mhm.
3-0, trying to make it 4-0. Offense has been absolutely outstanding, all the way from the quarterback Tanner Williams to your running backs Jeremiah Blue, Wesley Two. That entire offensive line, receiving core. Offense is something serious, man. Like I said, those guys stay healthy. They're gonna score points, man. If anything, they're gonna score points. They have has a couple defensive shortcomings, but like I said, if you're gonna give up 30 points, yeah, you better score 55. And
Thanks.
Midway has that type of offense, man. So of course, going into this game against the South Johnston Trojans, not too familiar with South Johnston. Kind of just a snapshot of their record so far. Um, like I said, it could be some resistance a little bit, but I just don't see too many teams holding that Midway offense down. It's going to depend on if South Johnson has an equally dangerous offense. Because if you're gonna attack Midway anywhere, man, you attack them on the defensive side of the ball.
I
But
talked to an
I'm not.
alum from South Johnson, and I ain't gonna mention his name because he got to go home at the end of the day. But
I,
he wasn't too high on him.
he wasn't too. I would kind of like. I was kind of like I said. I don't like to compare schools by just the teams they played all the time. But I'm looking at their win against Smithfield Selma. And Smithfield Selma's not what we would call, a traditionally strong football program, and they only won the game seven to
Hmm.
two. So that's kind of, I'm like, yeah, you can only put up 7 points on Smithfield Selma. I mean, you're gonna have a tough time, going toe to toe with these Raiders. So I think Midway moves to 4-0 this week. If you're Coach Sloan and your staff, you just kind of want to keep those guys focused, man. You don't want complacency slipping
Thanks.
in, um, and you want to continue to make strides to improve that defense. Like I said, man, it's you kind of got a safety net with your offense. Your offense has been very efficient, but you do want to kind of tighten up on the defensive side because as you go later on in the season, you're going to start playing tougher teams, especially when we get into the playoffs there, and definitely want to get that corrected. But like me and AB was talking about with Marlboro County, Midway's just like last year, man. As long if this team can stay healthy, because injuries was their biggest
Yeah.
issue last year. If this team can stay healthy, they definitely can make some waves, man. Definitely not sleeping on them, but shout out to Midway. I don't know if you got any comments
I got
there.
to shout out Coach Tyrone Stewart. He's on that coaching staff over there. He made a post declaring that Tanner Williams is the best quarterback in Sampson County. Now, so far, he when it comes to throwing that ball, he might be right. He might be right. But I gotta see more though. We only seen 3 games. It ain't how you start, it's how you finish. If he can continue to consistent play, especially how he played last week, um, I would be more comfortable with agreeing with him. But but like I said, it's all about consistency, man. So I would love to see that from Tanner. I would love to see G keep it up and stay healthy. That offense is just explosive, man. It
Yeah,
is an explosive offense. There's no denying that.
oh, yes, sir. I definitely gotta agree with you. But yeah, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that one. But I definitely see a Midway. I don't see Midway having any issues with that one. But like you said, man, you don't want to overlook anyone. Um, but yeah, I definitely if I had to if I had to choose, yeah, I'm definitely going rolling with the Raiders to improve to 4-0. If no more comments there, and real quick shout out to let's see Sean Pone in the comments. He talking about Calvin Lacewell, number 24, Dontavius and Quincy, crazy recipe for Lakewood. Yes, sir. Shout out to Donovan Smith there in the comments. All right, no more. We'll move on to this was kind of getting heated with a couple folks in the comment section earlier.
Yeah, I saw the comments was spicy.
Yeah, they I was like they kind of calmed down, but we might get them started back up again, man. We got big time game there in Burgall. Pender County Patriots 2-0 coming off a bye week. They'll be hosting Wallace Rose Hill. Wallace fresh off their first win of the season, defeating Clinton last week. Like I said, man, my biggest question um, is Wallace back to being, Wallace, the Wallace that we're used to seeing. I know they got, a slow start. Just my observation, man. I've had the pleasure of seeing a lot of really good Wallace Rose Hill football teams over the years, and this team so far just hasn't passed that eye test. That as that typical Wallace team, and that's actually it's not an insult, man. It's actually a compliment because I mean you've had so many great football teams in recent
Mhm.
years, but it's just not looking the same as they got it done last week though. Like I said, I feel like you still got some coach you got coaching on your side. So shout out to Coach Monsinger out there at Wallace. They did enough to get it done. They still got some solid pieces, like I said, Matthew Wells, the running back Bubba Lamb, Christian Scarlett there on that offensive line, big number 57 on the D line, that linebacker number 11. So they got some guys, man. They just putting together consistency. It hasn't really been they played well in spurts, man. They gotta
Mhm.
keep it together. They gotta put it all. They gotta play a complete football game if you know what I'm saying. Is
Mhm.
this the week that we see it? Uh, who knows? We'll be tuned in. But for Pender County, you see people questioning there who they played so far this year. Um, like I said, they pretty much had to reinvent themselves from just being the heavy Jeremiah Johnson,
Mhm.
pounded every to what they got this year, and they like I said, I like their identity, man. They come at you a lot of different ways. Quarterback Austin Dill, he's a dual threat kid. They got a couple really solid running backs. They really come at you from a committee standpoint. As for in the past years, it's just been oh, we got to worry about big number five. But they come at you a lot of different ways. They got a solid offensive line. Shout out to Malachi Hill on that offensive line. Bruce Rogers, who plays, he's an Iron Man there in the graphic there, number 51, plays both sides of the ball, offensive line and linebacker, leads the team in tackles. Um, so Pender's no slouch, man. So if
No.
I know some of these Wallace fans were questioning who they played so far this year, from what I've seen, man, Pender's no slouch, man. They could definitely hurt you um, in that run game. And like I said, this is going to be if this is not the Wallace that we're used to seeing. Because like I said, I feel like Clint could have won that. Clint should have won that game last week. Um, and Pender's the home team, so I don't like to pick against Wallace, man. But it's we're going. It's gonna be a tough one, man. I don't know how you feel about this one.
Well, I know this is one of our picks, but I'll go ahead and show my hand on this one, man. Um, PTSD aside, if Wallace played like they played last week against Clinton, then they're not coming out on top on this one. Like you have said multiple times, last week they really should have lost. Um, and with Pender having their multiple styles of offense, it's not just no one trick pony. They're not going to come at you with the same thing and stick with the same thing the whole entire game. They got options now. And if Wallace come out there trying to be, predicting their offense and I mean their defense, well, predicting Pender's offense and staying in the same defense the whole game, that could cause some issues for Wallace. Um, like you said, if they turn the leaf, if they spark some momentum with that win last week, winning that rivalry game, then that'll be That'll be typical Wallace. Is what Wallace is supposed to be doing. But if it's like what we are seeing for these between these first three games, um, I think some people are gonna be surprised at what Pender could do to him. So um, the the results remain in the preparation and the execution of game plan. That's
Yes,
what
sir.
this is really going to boil down to. Don't just go on huddle and think you got these guys figured out, because they got counter punches for you, and you don't know where that ball is going to be coming from. So I think that this is one of those coin flips. I can't just pencil in and shoe in Wallace on this. I think Pender
Yeah.
actually has a legit chance where if they do win, I wouldn't even consider it an upset.
Well, I don't know if you remember last year's game, man. Ed Wallace, Pender. I mean, it was actually a pretty solid game. The game changed when I don't know why, and I remember we talked about this on the show last year. Right there before halftime, for some reason, Pender tried to throw pass is really not their forte, and
No,
they tried to throw a pass there before halftime, and Irvin Brown, outstanding athlete for Wallace Rose Hill, he's up there at University of Ohio now. Picked it off and ran it back for a touchdown. And the momentum just changed right there from the start. And I'm pretty sure if Pender could go back and take that back, they probably wouldn't have done that. But yeah, so that's the type of stuff where we talk about. But just real quick, I'm gonna run down when I talked about Pender just not being a one trick pony this year, where it's not just Jeremiah Johnson, Jeremiah Johnson, Jeremiah Johnson. Right now through two games, they have four rushers with over 150 yards in rushing yards. Lamb has 206, Murphy 169, Zaire Williams 243 yards, and of course quarterback Austin Dill 257 yards. So they come at you with just a plethora of different runners. So yeah, you can't really key on one guy. And it's going to be interesting to see the chess match between coaches, because that's what I feel like a game like this is going to come down to. Which coaches make the adjustment, um, and who makes the least mistakes, and that's who's going to win this game. But and any more comments on Pender and Wallace Rose Hill? I'm saying real quick. Let me go to the chats. James Hare, what about them St. Paul's Bulldogs? We'll get to that. Like I said, if you don't know, man, my comments on St. Paul's, I got them. I had them picked in preseason to represent 5A in their 5A East in the state championship, and my opinion has not swayed yet. So that's how I feel about them St. Paul's Bulldogs. They're doing their thing. Wade Norris said definitely pulling for my old home, so he's pulling for Pender County this week. Amanda Mark said Wiles Rose Hill made some mistakes and Clinton capitalized on them. We
and
did,
that's
but just
true.
we did,
But
but
like,
just not enough.
but has Wallace Rosehill only made those mistakes that game? Because from what I had looked through on Huddle, man, and I'm being a hypocrite saying, "Oh, don't judge off Huddle," but from when I'm watching these games, that's not the only game that Wallace Rosehill has made those type of mistakes. They have made those type of mistakes throughout all these games. How do they eradicate that? How do they get out of that behavior of making those mistakes? Um, I mean, of course, we all know it takes a mental discipline
Oh yeah,
to stay grounded and to execute the way they're supposed to be executed. But you definitely can't give Pender those same type of mistakes and think that you're going to come out on top like y'all did last week. Those mistakes got to be cleaned up. So they're gonna have to show that those mistakes ain't a common thing. That's an exception and not the standard.
and I'm guessing they're hoping that just all right. We're in the game four now, so some of those little petty mistakes you were seeing at the beginning of the year, hopefully that's being worked out their system now. Hopefully,
Hmm. We shall see.
we shall see. And that now brings us, I'm pretty sure we hit every single one. So that now brings us to our Buck Sweet Sports game of the week. Big time game here in Duplin County.
Mhm.
So, and shout out to Ryan Sutherland. Ryan, you are just in time. You know, big time East Duplin fan there. Big time that radio broadcast crew out there, East Duplin, they do a great job. So if you can't make it to the game Friday night, the next best place to be. Listen to Ryan Sutherland and Gino Kennedy give you guys the play by play. They always, like I said, they always do a great job. So shout out to Ryan, always been a big time supporter of the podcast. Real quick, Travis Johnson said keep an eye on Rocky Mount and Hunt in 5A. Both have solid defenses and can score. Oh yeah, we'll be keeping an eye out. But like I said, man, I'm feeling St. Paul's right now, man. I'm feeling St. Paul's in 5A East. Of course, you know things happen throughout the season, so we'll find out. But right now, with Havelock being so down, I feel like man, I really like St. Paul's coming out the 5A East.
Which that
Amanda Mark
Havelock
says
has surprised me, bro.
yeah, they lost a lot to graduation, man. I saw
True.
that. I saw that in the beginning of the year, but normally teams like Havelock, they don't rebuild, they reload. But unfortunately, not don't look like the case this season.
They still trying to
uh,
find the bullets right now.
yeah, they still try. Amanda Mark said definitely not the standard. I guess speaking of
Type
Wallace
shit.
Rose Hill, definitely not the
Type.
standard, but we're getting it going, and that's why I
But
said
I
that. I said
understand. I like that.
they're slowly getting it together. Wade Norris, East Duplin, yes sir. Wade, of course, his son Branson, quarterback for
Hmm.
East Duplin, outstanding quarterback there. Because Ryan Sutherland said, "Go Panthers!" Yes sir. Big time game, man. Big time game. Duplin County. I know I kind of went against my what I talked about. I said I don't like to give God teams the same teams, games of the week back to back, try to spread the love a little bit. But this one was just too good to ignore.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, Duplin County rivalry game and two teams that I feel have the potential to represent their Pacific classifications in state championship games. So, I mean, Duplin County could very well be sending two teams to state championship weekend this year. And of course, that has happened before.
Hmm.
Remember in the 2017 season, where you had East Duplin in the 2AA, then you had Wallace Rose Hill in the 2A, and North Duplin in the 1A state championship game. So it's happened before, and it wouldn't surprise me if it happened again this year because these are two outstanding teams. Um, for East Duplin last week, man, East Duplin last week kind of man, Richlands gave him a game, man. Gave him a game. Definitely didn't expect that one coming. It kind of gave you vibes of the old ECC glory days back in the early 2000s, like when you had big time star Mario Williams at Richlands and
Yeah.
those type of games. They're kind of really a grinded out grudge match type deal right there. Ended in overtime. So East Duplin came away with that one 14-7. James Kenan went up there to Nash County and gave the Firebirds all they
Everything
wanted
they can
and
handle.
more. Really, really entertaining game, man. If really physical, both teams kind of played they played that phone book offense where it's just, it's everyone's closed in and it's just a really grinded out type offense, very physical. Jeremiah Hall for James Kenan went absolutely nuclear. I
Yes.
mean, kid had an amazing game. Unfortunately for James Kenan, man, they just kind of ran out of gas there at the end. Southern Nash was able to convert, some really tough 2-point conversions, and that pretty much was the difference in the game there. But it spoke well of what James Kenan has, and to go up there and take on a school that size, and really for the most part control the game for I mean outside of what the last maybe 10 minutes of the game, James Kenan was in total control. So that spoke well of, and you're not really going, like you said, I don't think too many other schools James Kenan size could go up there and do that.
Yeah.
So
I ain't
So
gonna lie,
getting
that
to
was that was one of my picks last week. That
yeah,
I had to do some soul searching though, and I
yeah.
was sweating when I heard
Oh,
that it went into
I
overtime.
bet you they did have you sweat.
When I heard that game going to overtime, I was like, "Dog, I'm about to eat crow to these Tigers, boy."
Oh yeah, yeah. But now James Keenan just one of those schools, man. Like I said, right now these last two seasons they really kind of really put it together. And like I said, they got an outstanding group. But of course, you're going against another outstanding group in East Duplin on Friday night, man. And like Wade Norris said in the comments, and he said this definitely got to be the game of the week. Yeah, it's no way I could have just. It's no way y'all would have let me speed past this one and chose somebody else. So, uh, yeah, I know better, man. I know better. Trust me. But it's gonna be an outstanding game, man. This type of game is won at the line of scrimmage. Obviously, man. This is what we do in the Sampson County, Duplin County, Bladen County area. This is what we do. This is this game is won in the trenches here.
Yeah,
So who's going to control the offensive line? Who's going to control the defensive line? Uh, field position. Field position always is a big
field
one in these type
position's
of games.
big.
Um, Turnovers. I believe last season it was a turnover that really sparked James Keenan's win. So a lot of different factors, man. Two great teams, two great coaching staffs, two very passionate fan bases. Um, I got a pick on this game, but I'm gonna wait till we do our quick picks. But I'm definitely looking forward to watching it. I know the fans are ready. They're hyped. Um, this should also be a pretty good JV game as well, man. Like I said, I think both teams
Mhm.
have really good, really really strong JV games. So I'll be checking in on that one tomorrow night, Thursday night. But Anthony, man, how you feeling about this one?
Oh man, like I said, this was a can't miss game of the week. Uh, both teams have been pretty hot so far these first 3 weeks. Uh, JK is like you said, they put it together, man. They have put it together, but I ain't gonna tip my hand either because this is a part of my quick picks.
Mm-hmm.
I just see this being a slobber knocker, in the words of Jim Ross. This is going to be a slobber knocker. It's about who's going to bring their lunch pail to work, tighten up that chin strap, because it's going to be some popping, it's going to be some banging in them
Oh,
trenches.
it's gonna be some pads of popping.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Get your popcorn ready, man. Just no fighting in the stands. I don't want to see no fight.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna be a good one, man. And we're close to doing those quick picks, so you'll get to hear who we pick. But Shot Ryan Sutherland said they're going to be broadcasting that JV game tomorrow night. So
And that's good, man. I
I'm gonna
think
definitely
JV needs more highlight,
yeah
man. Give
yeah
them young boys some recognition, man. When they know that people gonna be watching, you'll be surprised. That gives them a little more oomph in their step when they know that, oh, I might be in the paper tomorrow or I'm gonna be on broadcast. They play a little bit harder when they know that eyes
oh
are
yeah.
on them.
Yeah, and for that JV game, man, East Duplin's coming in 3-0. James Keenan's coming in 2-0. So that's definitely gonna be. I'm definitely have to check that one out, man. Normally, I'm a little biased with my JV games. Normally, if Clinton's JV's being broadcasted on NFHS, I'll be watching that one. But I'm gonna have to check this one out tomorrow night. I think this gonna be, like I said, JV, man. That's your future, man. That's your foundation. A lot of your team. So I'm definitely going to be checking that one out to get a look. Both JV programs look outstanding, so I'm going to have to check that game out. Travis Johnson said this game will be very physical. Think it comes down to turnovers and whoever wins the battle line of scrimmage. Yeah, that's hey my thoughts exactly, sir.
Yep.
Sean Paul said James Keenan's game last week was a very scary sight for their classification. They played up and barely lost. They are a very decent team. Yes, sir. I have to
Yes,
agree.
sir.
Shout out to Logan Dodson, man. Appreciate you listening. He said, "What's up, guys?" Real quick there. Also, man, it was Wednesday, so I believe the middle school season started today. So if y'all have any middle school scores,
They had their jamboree today. It
oh, they had
was
a
what they
jamboree.
called the
Okay.
roundup. They had the roundup there at
Oh, okay.
Union
I got you.
Middle. And guess who called me? That's why I had to leave and come back because it knocked me off the broadcast. But Jeremiah Lyon, he the first one. I knew he was
Uh
gonna
huh.
call me as soon as he got home. So I got to tap in with the young bull when we get over and see how he
Okay.
did today. But
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
they had
Definitely.
their roundup today. The roundup is pretty much their version of a jamboree
Okay.
for
So
all
just
the
all basically scrimmages and everything.
hmm.
Okay. Cool. Cool. So the
So
real stuff start next week.
next week, yes sir.
All right. Well, look, if anyone gets a hold of a Sampson County middle school schedule, please send it to me. 'Cause I definitely want to stay locked in with the with what the middle school teams are doing this season. All right, and shout out to Toy Stevens said James Keenan's JV and varsity have always been strong. Yes, man. Hey, like I said, that's a very strong program out there in James Keenan. All right, we're ready for the quick picks. And as you can see, Anthony Coach Goodman is absolutely dominating. My strategy last week did not work at all. So I'm not doing that no more. I'm just going. I'm going with my heart, man. I ain't going opposite. If I feel like a team's gonna win, I'm picking that team. I'm not gonna go the opposite of you because that didn't help at all. And of course, we got to get Anthony Berry caught up. We got to give him. I was gonna have him pick 20 games again this week so he can finally be caught up. But shout out to Coach Stevens up there listening to us in the chat, man. Appreciate you
Hey,
listening,
Coach
Coach.
Stevens, if you will, just tell us how y'all boys did, man. Since you're here,
Yeah,
um,
and if you
comment,
got a
give us some scores.
And if you got a schedule, man, please feel free to send me the middle school schedule, man. I want to stay up with the middle school teams. All right, Anthony, if you're ready for the quick picks, man,
Now, let's
we'll
get
run
into it,
through
man.
we'll run through it. So for the Clinton East Bladen game, I got Clinton.
I got East Blade.
Okay. And for that Hopton Rosewood, I got Hopton.
I got Hopton.
Hold on, I should read off Anthony's AF since he's not here. AB's picks. Hold on. Back. For AB, he picked Clinton and he picked Hopton. So all right, keep it moving. For Midway versus South Johnston, I got Midway,
I got Midway.
and let's see, yeah, and he picked Midway too. East Duplin, James Kenan, our game of the week. Man, I'm rolling. No disrespect to Wade. Wade Norris. He's always been a big supporter of the podcast. No disrespect to Ryan. He's always been a big supporter of the podcast. But man, I got to roll with those James Keenan Tigers.
And you know what? After the heart palpitations I went through last week, see the boys against Southern Nash. They have made a believer out of me. I'm going with JK on this one.
Alrighty. Our next one, Wallace versus Pender. Another one we talked about. Wade said, "What?" Hey Wade, man,
I'm sorry,
no, no,
Wade.
no disrespect, man. No disrespect. Look, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a great game. I think it's gonna be one of the best games in the area. Um, and it wouldn't surprise me, if y'all won. But for this one, man, I'm taking James Keenan. But hey, no disrespect to y'all, man. Hey, look. If I'm wrong, y'all feel free to rub it in my face Saturday morning. But our next game, Wallace versus Pender. Like I said, man, I'm just not too keen. I just don't know if this is the Wallace that we're normally used to seeing. And I'm liking the home team, man. So I'm gonna roll with Pender.
I'm going. I got Pender written down, man. So, over Pender.
And AB went with Wallace.
That's it. That's a chance for him to step up.
Oh yeah. Um, Tarboro versus Southwest Edgecombe. The function at the junction. I got I ain't picking against Tarboro, man. I'm going with Tarboro on that one.
Until they give me reason not to, I'm going with Tom, bro.
I think he went with Tarboro as well. Cool, we keep it moving. Terry Sanford versus Jack Britt. Hey man, Terry Sanford put a lot of people on notice with that first game of the year, defeating 71st, and I don't, and they continue to play well. So I'm gonna roll with Terry Sanford in this one.
Now look, Jack Britt put a hurting on Cape Fear last week. They put a hurting on them. But for the same reason you just mentioned, no disrespect, Champon, you a legend, man, and your son gonna be a legend too. But Terry Sanford made a believer out of me, man. I'm rolling with Terry Sanford on this one.
Alrighty. Next one, uh, Marlboro County versus Conway. Shout out to AB. He had to cut out early on us, but yeah, coming off a loss, man. I don't see Marlboro letting that one slip away. So I'm gonna go with Marlboro County on that one.
Has CJ lost 2 games in a row?
Uh, I don't. No, we never. I don't think we since his time at Clinton. And if no, I don't think he's ever lost 2 games in a row.
I'm going Marlboro.
Next one, Cardinal. Ooh, this a big one, man. Big one.
Huge.
Cardinal Givens, Southeast Raleigh. Hey, Southeast Raleigh has been playing some really good football.
And they've been playing some good opponents too.
And yeah, they been playing some solid opponents. They got a lot of talent, a lot of athletes on those teams, man. But I can't pick against Cardinal Givens, man. Cardinal Givens, they just I made a mistake of picking against Roseville last week. And it's just certain teams you just it don't matter who they playing you unless they're playing each other. You won't pick against them. So I'm going with Cardinal Givens.
To pick against Cardinal Gibbons is a cardinal sin. I'm going with Cardinal Gibbons.
And AB took he took Cardinal Givens as well. All right, here's an interesting one to close it out, man. We got High Point Christian Academy taking on Harold's Christian Academy. Both teams coming in 3-0. No disrespect to my Sampson County folks, Duplin County folks out there at Harold's. Man, I gotta roll with High Point on this one.
Now look, last week Harold's had a very emotional game. It was a special night. They were
Mm-hmm.
paying tribute, I believe, to Wade Johnson, I want to say,
Yes, sir.
number 25. It was a special night. I mean, bro, there was so Brent covered it there last week. Brent, shout out, he's our sports editor at the Samson Independent. He said there wasn't a dry eye in the stadium.
Mm.
Um, they played with a lot of heart, and they came out on top, victorious, and their halfback went off. He went off. But what happens when it's not a special night? When it's any given Friday night? Are you guys going to keep that same energy or not? I don't know. I'm going with High Point on this one.
Alrighty. High Point and AB. He went with High Point as well. So we pretty much went same on most of them. There's a couple. We got a couple difference makers, and I probably won't be able to gain too much ground. So right now it's looking like Coach Goodman is cruising to that steak dinner or whichever meal he chooses. But
Now, mind you, I had submitted my picks well before, okay?
oh yeah, yeah,
It,
yeah, yeah.
I want to get that public disclaimer out there. It ain't like I'm trying to use no counterpunch strategy and trying to protect my lead, copying no picks. I had wrote these
Oh
things on
no,
paper before I left the office.
yeah, yeah. Nah, I tried the whole counter thing last week and it did not work out well for me. So no, no,
So
no.
what games are we different on?
Let's see. I got Clinton. You got East Bladen. We both picked Pender and AB. He picked Wallace. We all got Tarboro. We both got Terry Sanford. AB picked Jack Britt. We all picked Cardinal. The only difference we only got 2 different games this week. So the me and you, the Clint East Bladen game. And I think that's it as far as me and you. Of course, AB picked a couple different ones. So we'll see
Forever.
how that works out. But yeah, shout out to the chat, man. Yeah, Sean Pone, he's mentioned this before, man. He said you can't really judge us that first half against Terry Sanford, man. He said he had a couple guys out, and a couple mistakes you make the first game that they're not making right now. So I'm not definitely. Hey, look, I still got. I don't know about anybody else, but I still got 71st running away with the 6-8. That ain't
Yeah,
changed.
that ain't
That
changed.
that ain't changed at all. If anything, it reinforced it because those kids were probably pissed off after that game. So yeah,
Hmm.
I still got 71st running away with that with the like I say, if they're not playing state championship weekend, I will be really really surprised. So let me see. Tyreek Platt said Waz Rose Hills winning Thursday and Friday. Oh, okay. Travis Johnson said Tarboro by 14. I'll have to agree, if not more. And shout out to Brandon Blackwell. Said just got home, man. Hey, you missed it, man. No worries, brother. No worries, man. We'll get you up here soon. But if no one has any more comments, man, as far as these games go, any final thoughts, Coach?
Um, I just again I want to echo what I said. Again, I want to thank everybody for their prayers for my grandmother and my family. It has been greatly, greatly appreciated. Um, prayer works, man. Prayer is a powerful
Yes,
tool, and
yes, sir.
we should utilize it all the time. The only other thing I got is now that middle school is starting, please, parents, coaches, community, reach out to us, man. Cause
Yeah,
now
I
that
want.
I done coached middle school, I done coached JV and varsity. All those kids deserve recognition, and that's our whole premise of why this has started to give all our local students. So I know because we mainly highlight the varsity games on coverage on our episodes doesn't mean that we're neglecting the middle school kids or neglecting the JV kids. They deserve just as much recognition and acknowledgement. So please, we need y'all to be our eyes and ears so we can give them that acknowledgement and highlight them as well because we can't get to all of those and not all of those games, especially middle school games, are available on NFHS. So we really need to lean on the community and feedback from the community to let us know what's going on so we can give them, their time to shine.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. That's why I said, man, y'all. If anyone has a middle school schedule, please feel free to inbox it to me. Y'all did a great job last year, man. Everyone did a great job of really filling me in on scores and players to watch and sending videos and clips and stuff. So I really appreciate that. So yeah, definitely we want to give shine to the middle school kids. We want to give shine to the JV kids, man. I try my best to try to make a post for them. So yeah, definitely
Coach
keep us
Stevens did
informed.
say that Hopton and SMS week 1, that needs to be the middle school game of the week because those were the two unbeatens that played each other last year.
Uh
SMS kind of got us on that. But I'm pretty sure
huh.
Hopkins is ready to look for some revenge.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I see Coach Stevens let you know in the comments. Man, he said he got Darren running the ball. He scored 3 times today. So okay.
My man. All right now.
But yeah, definitely. Like I said, man. Please, yeah. Appreciate that, Coach. He said he's gonna send me a schedule, man. So yeah, we definitely want to stay locked in with, and that's just not Sampson County, man. That's Duplin County as well. Uh, yeah, send me middle school information you have, players to watch, schedules, and we'll try to stay locked in with that out there. But once again, man, appreciate everyone listening in. Got to give a shout out to our sponsor for sponsoring this podcast, Austin Brinkley, North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Definitely give him a call, 910-290-4250. Let him talk to you and work out a plan, get you and your family covered. Like I said, and just in these days and times, it's important to have that peace of mind. So and support someone that supports the community, man. Like I said, Austin, he's a big time James Kenan fan. Um, big time supporter of this podcast, and we appreciate him for sponsoring us. So support those that support you, man. Real quick, so man, I'll go ahead and close things out, man. If Coach Goodman doesn't have anything else, appreciate everyone that participated in the chat there. Thanks y'all for being engaged. Thank everyone for listening. No matter what platform you listen to us on, be sure to like this video, share it on all different platforms. Give us a follow. Like I said, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, YouTube, Buck Sweet Sports Podcast. So once again, man, appreciate y'all support. I'll be signing off. We'll check in with y'all on Saturday for our recap show. So until then, Chris Harris, Coach Anthony Goodman signing off. Y'all have a great night.